What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I'm just your average Joe day trader. So guys, tonight I want to talk a little bit about something with you that I'm actually excited about and then maybe not so excited about. Matter of fact, I've got notes everywhere to go over with you guys. I have been like a kid in the candy store. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the market this weekend from coming off of a Friday close. And so now here we are on Sunday night. It's about, I don't know, close to 8:30. And the market's been open since 8 o'clock for the 24-hour running stock, S&P 500. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. But tonight specifically, this video, I want to focus on one stock. You already saw the name of it. And I want to talk to you about JOBY Aviation. Guys, I had made some videos about JOBY Aviation several months ago, then made some updates several weeks ago. And I keep talking about JOBY Aviation. And JOBY Aviation is a company that I love. I love what they stand for. I love what they're doing. I love what's going on. You know that JOBY Aviation, very similarly to Archer Aviation, which is ACHR. This is JOBY, JOBY. They both should be in your The Sky watch list, so you should have those in there. But I want to talk to you about JOBY Aviation because they had some very cool things happen at the end of the week last week, and they have some really good things coming up. But I want to share a few things with you because I think there is an amazing opportunity with JOBY Aviation to make more money. Yes, you heard me say it. I think that we, as retail day traders and retail investors, and as an investor overall, we can make more money. Now, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what to buy, what to sell, how to play the market, how to get in the market. I'm just going to share with you guys what I'm doing, what I love, my opinions about stocks, and basically just share with you, hey, this is what I'm going to do come tomorrow morning, Monday morning, taking a look at specifically JOBY Aviation. So first, let's start with this. So JOBY Aviation, okay, if you didn't know this, JOBY Aviation is being backed by Toyota Corporation. Toyota has actually agreed, and they're somewhat in partnership with JOBY to assist them with their production lines. Okay, now, if you know anything about Toyota, Toyota kind of knows their junk, right? Toyota knows what they're doing. They know how to build cars. They know how to sell cars. They have been in business for a long time. So to have someone like a Toyota Corporation backing a company like JOBY, which specializes in these electronic, aerial vehicles, is a pretty awesome thing because JOBY not only does the aerial vehicles, but it has connections to drone technology, connections to AI, and there's just a ton that's going on with JOBY right now that I wanted to share that with you because I personally believe that JOBY has got a significant opportunity right now where it sits to make a significant amount of money. So let me remind you of a couple things about JOBY, and I am literally flipping through notes left and right. I mean, this is like JOBY world right now. And so I'm kind of excited. So yes, I'm going to be reading from some of my notes. For some of my subscribers like this, that like to say, hey, you sound very scripted. Yes, I am very scripted because I want to tell you the right information. I want to tell you the wrong information. So those of you that are here and subscribe, thank you so much. And thank you for being back. And if you hadn't hit the subscribe button, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button so that you get more of my crazy videos as we continue along and make money together. Okay. So JOBY Aviations, okay? JOBY's eVTOL, okay? Their electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft systems, their production line of these electric vehicles, is potentially about to complete their certification through the FAA by doing their flight testing, by working towards their commercial rollout, and they're in their fifth stage, their fifth test stage of this eVTOL certification program, which means that once they get through this fifth level of testing, okay, their fifth findings, then the government steps in, comes in and says, okay, let's put you through the paces. Let's see if you actually are ready to go. Do you pass all, snuff? I know there was some information I shared last week about potential payload issues. Will it be able to lift 1,000 pounds, be able to lift 3,500 pounds? Guys, I don't know anything about that. All I know is that they're doing their due diligence. They spent money on R&D. They spent money in testing. And the one amazing thing about JOBY, which I compare to Archer, is JOBY is all internal, meaning they've created their own parts. They've created their own technology. They're using a lot of their own AI that they've come up with. They're in partnership with several amazing companies that are assisting them with that, and the backing of Toyota, right? Huge. But Joby is getting ready to rock and roll because they announced last week that they are acquiring, okay, not partnering with, they have acquired Blade Air Mobility. Now, Blade Air Mobility has two sides to their business. They have the commercial side, which deals with, say, like, air taxis, where they have airplanes that they transport people like an air taxi type of a system. I don't know how else to say that to you, but they're air taxis, okay? If you're here where I live in South Florida, there's several companies you can go to, like Fort Lauderdale International Airport, and you see these yellow bi-wing airplanes and these yellow small jet airplanes that are basically, they look like, they have the checkered flag all over them, and they look like taxis. They look like yellow New York City taxis. Well, that's a business, right? People are using their services to get back and forth to the Bahamas, back and forth to Tennessee, back and forth to wherever they need to go. So Joby just purchased Blade Air Mobility, which has an entire commercial fleet, okay, of air taxis. And what Joby wants to do is they want to take that business model by acquiring Blade Air. They're now going to create their air taxi systems, their air taxi business through EV technology, guys. Through these, and I always have to look at it, through the electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft systems. Okay, that's pretty cool, guys, if you think about that. And that's like huge money. Hello, watch out, George Jetsons. Here they come. Joby Aviation. Okay, now Joby Aviation, their stock recently with that news soared up over 400%. They rallied up over 400%. They actually crossed the $18 range, went to $19.46, and then they came back. Then they dropped back. They're having a bit of a drop back on their stock, which is totally fine with me, because when Joby Aviation hit $19.46, your boy, average Joe day trader, Josh is my name, because I know a lot of guys call me Joe, and I love that. Hey, Joe, what are we doing about this? Josh sold out of Joby. Josh got out of Joby. Josh is not doing this thing on a lot of his stocks where, yes, there's a lot of long term. Josh is seeing huge profit, knowing there's going to be pullback, selling out of it, buying back in at the low, at the dip, and riding it back up. Maybe selling out of it again, maybe not. But this is what I'm doing, guys, okay? I sold all of my shares at $19 and something cents, and now I am waiting to see the dip. Now, between Thursday and Friday last week, they continued to run down. They had a low of $16.30, and now in the into the pre-market today, Friday night into Sunday night, where we are right now, they're sitting at $16.74 in the overnight. So what is Josh going to do? Is Josh going to wait for tomorrow morning to see where Joby is at? Yes and no, okay? Right now at 8:35 p.m., Josh is going to buy a specific amount of shares in Joby at $16.75, $16.74 in the overnight. And tomorrow morning, depending on what it does, if it drops back down more, he's going to average that one down and buy more. But here's what we believe. We believe that Joby potentially is going to hit about a $15 or a $13 pullback. Now, so I'm going to buy about 50 shares tonight at $16.74, because in the event that it starts to go up tomorrow, then I'll buy additional shares and sort of average up, which I don't like to do, but I'll average it up and continue to build, and then take profits, sell out, and watch to see if there's an additional pullback. But I am telling you right now, I'm pretty comfortable in sharing with you, and I'm pulling my notes up so I have the numbers. I'm pretty comfortable in telling you that right now we see two support levels, $13 and $50, somewhere about there. And there is the potential that Joby's going to pull back and hit that $15 or potentially that $13 support level, and then turn around and it's going to rocket. We believe, and that the analysts, a lot of other YouTubers, and myself feel personally, in our opinion, that Joby's going to go back to the $18 range pretty soon, and has potential, maybe within the next week or so, or a couple weeks. Don't hold me to it, but I believe there's potential to hit $22. And then when it hits the $22, if it can break that $22 mark, then we're looking at potentially up to $30. So I am going to get into Joby and buy Joby because for me, it's a right play, it's a right investment. And worst case scenario for me, if I buy into Joby and it does go down and hit that $15 mark or that $13 mark and I'm in it, guys, I'm in it. Okay. It becomes a swing or a longer term hold for me. Okay. In a specific amount of shares while I will still day trade Joby because I like Joby. It's not on the average Joe day trade, best day trade stocks list, but I like it for day trade. It's been making good money. And as you, if you're looking at the chart, and let's go to the chart right now, you're going to see this that on the chart, okay, and I'm on the 30 minute, let's go to the 15 minute. You'll see on Friday, and we can go to Thursday as well. You see that it had this high, and actually it was even higher, $19.80 the day before, $19.46 the day after on a run down. Had a bit of a run up on the end of Thursday, through the post-market, pre-market, ran up a little bit in the pre-market on Friday, and then ran down with everything that ran down, guys. There wasn't much of the stock that wasn't running down. And then it picked back up midday, and it finished out pretty strong midday. But here's the thing, okay? What does it do from here? So let's go to, I'm going to give you my 4 hours so you can see. All right, here I've charted it out here on my Webull account because I've got it charted out on here, charted out on TraderView, and I'm watching it because I want to understand what it's going to do. But it's between, it's at 1674 right now. So it's, I'm going to do what I normally do, which is I'm going to go to my 15 minute and I'll do it with you guys right now because I want to see what this looks like in the morning. So I'm going to go here. You guys know my strategy. I'm going over here. I'm going to get my rectangle. I'm going to go to the highest point of the market on Friday, and I'm going to go to the lowest part of the market on Friday, and I let go. I lock it in, okay? And now I'm going to pull it across through the next day. All right, and we're going to see through this 24-hour market, what does it do? Okay, so now I have basically a resistance level and a support level, and I'm right now within that box. Let's see what it does through the overnight, because it's 24 hours, into the pre-market, and then what's it going to do at open. And that's going to be a huge indicator for me of whether it's going to turn this run up or it's going to turn this run down. Plus, we'll have to wait and see and play it over several days. You can't make a decision on one day, but that's what I'm doing. Short term, guys, I'm going to wait for any type of financial news that they have to put out. Obviously, this huge news about this strategic move. So the acquisition of Blade Air, I mentioned earlier, there's two parts. One was this commercial part for air taxi service, basically. The other part is a medical service that Blade Air is in, and they're not going to touch the medical service. Blade Air is going to continue to have their medical services through helicopter emergency services and all that. Joby is going to specifically be to the taxi side, okay, which is where they want to be anyway. They're hoping by the end of this year they get the final approvals through the FAA to move forward. And when they get these electric vehicles going, right, to fly after all the approvals, that's going to be super awesome. But what's really cool about this acquisition is that basically Joby and Blade Air are already in partnership now on the defense, their defense expansion. So through the contracts they have through the Department of Defense and L3Harris, which is a communication company. I've seen L3Harris at every one of the law enforcement conferences that I have to attend in my corporate work life. And so L3Harris does Motorola radios and communication devices and AI technology, stuff like that. Great partnership. But that's going to help push them in the defense sector. Okay, so a great partnership, great acquisition. But I'm also going to watch to see what type of capital comes in from potentially their deals and from sales, and being at a support of $13 and $15, it potentially is an extremely great buying opportunity. And they are right at, okay, the 50-day moving average, which is still in a bull sentiment. So that is a great place for this stock to be. And we'll see what happens. Now, I'm not an options player, but I made a note for options, guys. If you are an options player, this is a great place to be because it shows a clear path to $22. If you're a long-term investor, then there is a huge bullish case, potentially of the price to go to $35. And this is all coming from the analysts that are saying, hey, strong buy buy ratings right now. So great opportunity to get into it. Guys, I'm getting into it. I'm sure I left a ton out because, like I said, I have all these notes and stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. Do some of your own research, do some of your due diligence, guys. And the deal is, your boy Josh over here is heavily looking at Joby. And even if it's not a day trade opportunity, the potential for it over the next few weeks or few months, or even into next year after they get approval for this commercialization with the acquisition of Blade and their own commercialization as Joby backed by Toyota. Guys, it's a win-win-win. So remember, I'm not telling you what to do, not financial advice. I'm definitely sharing with you what I'm doing. And for me, this is a strong front runner. I put this right on the same level for me as Applied Digital and AMPX, which is Amprius, which is the lithium ion battery company that I just did a video on a couple days ago. Go check that one out too. So guys, let's get rich together. Stay sharp, stay focused. I'll have an update for you on the market here in a little bit. I want to do some more analysis on the S&P 500 to see what's going on with it before I share with you what my Monday morning plan is, with the exception of Joby. Josh out. Peace.